Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I welcome you all in FSEX Online Sport and Assignments tutorial for week 9. I am Zubia Razak from APS Chakthamni. The grade is 8 and subject is biology. Recipe is chapter number 3 and objective is to understand about steps for the conservation of biodiversity from textbook pages 44 to 47. Task 2, that is steps for the conservation of biodiversity. Conservation of biodiversity has become a global concern. Biologists urge the national policy makers to state a set of rules necessary to protect a species. They demand that laws should define species which are threatened by extinction and must be protected. Though rich in biodiversity, Pakistan today faces severe threats to its animals and plant species. The greatest concern is the loss of natural habitats. Main causes of this loss are rapid growth in human population and the prevailing poverty in the rural areas of Pakistan. In addition, low literacy rate is also a reason for the failure of conservation measures taken so far. The threat to biodiversity is among the hot topics discussed at the UN World Summits. The International Union for the Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources IUCN and the World Wildlife Fund Pakistan WWFP work in close coordination with Pakistan's Ministry of Environment and other government and non-government institutions. The IUCN has prepared the first national red list that contains list of endangered or threatened species. And these are the strategies, these are the examples of environmental work that has been carried out in Pakistan in order to conserve species and associated habitats. National Conservation Strategy. In 1980s, IUCN and the government of Pakistan formulated the National Conservation Strategy for Pakistan for the conservation of Pakistan's biodiversity. The next is UN Convention on Combating Desertification. This is an international treaty against damage and poverty in dry lands. Pakistan signed this in 1997. The next one is Himalayan Jungle Project. It started in 1991 in the Palas Valley in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. It aimed at protecting one of the richest areas of Pakistan in biodiversity. Next is Conservation of Biodiversity of the Suleiman Range, Balochistan. Suleiman Range Chilgoza Forest is the largest Chilgoza forest in the world. In 1992, the WWF started its conservation program. Next is Northern Areas Conservation Project of Pakistan. The northern areas of Pakistan serve as a habitat for a number of wildlife species. The survival of these species is under threat. The NACP is a project of WWFP which is successful in implementing a ban on the hunting of these species, which are musk deer, snow leopard, Astor markhor, and Himalayan ibex, woolly flying squirrel, and the brown bear. Next is conservation of migratory birds in Chitral KP. It is estimated that about 2 lakh of the 1 million migratory birds passing through Chitral are killed during migration. These birds face enormous hunting pressure. WWF Pakistan initiated efforts to reduce the hunting pressure in 1992. The efforts proved successful. Next is conservation of Chiltan Markhor. Hazarganji National Park is located close to Quetta and is the only remaining habitat of this Chiltan Markhor in the country. The WWF Pakistan developed the management plan of the park. Last one is ban on games. Foreigners visit the northern area and play with games in which bears are used. WWF Pakistan has been successful in imposing a ban on this illegal practice. The herders capture the bear cubs and sell them to the trainers who train them and sell to the foreigners. The next are endangered species in Pakistan, which is first one is Indus dolphin. According to WWFP, only 600 animals of the species of this Indus dolphin are left today in the Indus River. The population of this species declined due to the water pollution, poaching, and destruction of habitat. The next one is Marco Polo sheep, which are mostly found in Hunjara National Park and nearby areas. Their number have been rapidly decreasing in the last 2 decades, and WWFP has started projects for its conservation. The next one is Hubara bustard. This bird flies to Pakistan in winter season from the former Soviet territory and settles in the Cholistan and Thar deserts. The decline in its population is due to hunting by foreigners and destruction of its habitat. Day 2 tasks completed, Alhamdulillah. And now it's time to share the home tasks for the day 2, that are memorize the concepts from textbook pages 43 to 46. You have to write about the deforestation, causes and effects of deforestation. You have to write about the steps of conservation of biodiversity. You have to write about the endangered species in Pakistan, and you have to do exercise MCQs question from textbook pages 48 to 49. Thank you and have a nice day.